Tonight on DC News Now at 5. Hundreds of people lined up to speak out as DC Council weighs a proposal to bring the commanders back to RFK. The debate over football, housing, and the future of the site. A deadly Midtown shooting in New York. The gunman kills 4 people, including a police officer. The newest information from police.
We're going to continue to see that heat index reaching up into the triple digits on Wednesday. We'll let you know when it may finally start to cool down.
It's been 6 months since a deadly mid-air crash killed 67 people and shook air travelers across the region. Those families demanding change.
Why the helicopter did not see and did not avoid Flight 5342.
And new legislation takes flight, looking to prevent another tragedy. And from standout rookies to veteran leadership, the countdown to kickoff getting real in Ashburn. Sports reporter Brandy Flores gives us the latest from the field on the Washington Commanders.
You're watching the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Happening now, hundreds of people testifying in the district as council gets closer to voting on a deal to bring the commanders back to D.C. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now at 5. I'm Mark Hall.
And I'm Tosin Fakile. Today, more than 500 people signed up to speak for or against the deal.
Really a slap in our face as D.C. residents, and considering that this council knows that everything in Washington, D.C. is a union, that's unfair.
It's been long overdue for investment in our community, and that is what RFK is going to do for Ward 7 and the D.C. residents.
The proposed project, a $4 billion investment at the old RFK Stadium site. That includes a new 65,000-seat stadium, housing, retail, parking garages, green space, and more. D.C. taxpayers on the hook for at least $1 billion.
And DC News Now's Marielle Carbone. She joins us live downtown. And Marielle, obviously a lot of interest.
Yeah, Mark and Tosin, this hearing expected to go on for hours with so many people signed up. And that is because this issue is so personal and important to a lot of people. They say the decision will impact their jobs, their housing, and their future livelihoods. And while we are looking at a revised deal by council, some still say this deal is not good enough. As council prepares to vote on a massive $4 billion deal to bring the Washington Commanders back to D.C., no bad deal. Some are pushing for a better deal.
The only deal is a labor agreement. That's it.
Marcus Young is with Unite Local 23 and works as a shop steward at the Washington Convention Center.
Those jobs are important. People overlook the food service a lot.
He's demanding protections and guarantees for workers like him in the stadium deal.
It's really a slap in our face as D.C. residents, and considering that this council knows that everything in Washington, D.C. is a union, that's unfair.
Young, one of the more than 500 people testifying Tuesday.
The mayor's stadium deal would cost the district $8.4 billion over 30 years, and Chairman Mendelson's plan is just 12% better.
Some against.
The terms of a 90-year deal for the development of the lands adjacent to the stadium shocked us.
Some for.
With this redevelopment, we have chance to bring the power back in a way which benefits everyone.
I'm excited about it. I'm here for it.
Stephanie Campbell, a lifelong Washingtonian, spoke in support.
I've seen what the Care First Arena has done for Ward 8, creating jobs, creating opportunities for our CBEs, and that is what RFK is going to do for Ward 7 and the D.C. residents.
She's pushing her fellow neighbors and council members to get on board.
I don't know if you can see the signs behind me that say, don't fumble the future, invest in RFK. That's what I have to say to them, because they don't see the bigger picture.
So council members are ready for a long night here with a lot more speakers. And then round 2 tomorrow, there is a second public hearing on Wednesday. That one is for government officials. So we're expecting to hear from the mayor, some of her staff, and even Commanders team leadership. And then Mark and Tosin, that first vote on the deal is scheduled for Friday. Reporting live from the Wilson Building, I'm Marielle Carbone, DC News Now.
All right, Marielle, it's going to be a long day there. Thank you for that report. All right, let's get a check of our forecast with meteorologist Damon Matson.
And Damon, this evening, will we get any kind of relief, or is it going to be one of those nights?
Well, it's going to be one of those nights, and unfortunately, we're already gearing up for Wednesday, which I've heard somebody call it this, but this heat of late has just been diabolical, and unfortunately, it's going to keep ramping up. And we already have heat advisories that are now being issued ahead into Wednesday. For the rest of this evening, there are already heat advisories for the I-81 corridor, the Shenandoah Valley until 8 p.m. But what you're seeing on this map here with the heat advisories expanded over into D.C., these heat advisories for the district don't take effect until 11 a.m. tomorrow, lasting through 8 p.m. on Wednesday. So it's all just in preparation for more of the same brutal heat and humidity we've been dealing with. And when we usually have hot temperatures like this, high humidity as well, we get a lot of haze, and an air quality alert has already been put out for Wednesday. As the heat and humidity spike, there's going to be a lot of haze and a drop in that air quality, especially around the city. So a lot to be prepared for, folks. This is already what we're dealing with. That heat index is 104 in D.C. Many of us are feeling like the triple digits at this hour across the DMV, and we are only going to see things very slowly cool off. We're still, though, at 90 degrees with a heat index in the upper 90s by 8 p.m. So it's going to be a sweltering evening, a very warm night, and then another brutally hot day on Wednesday. Now, as we head toward the end of the week, is there finally some relief in sight? We'll have a full look at your forecast with that answer coming up in just a bit.
All right, Damon, we'll check in with you soon. Thank you. Today marks 6 months since the deadly mid-air collision at Reagan National. The crash claimed the lives of 67 people when an Army helicopter and an American Airlines flight collided. That crash in January sparked concerns over aviation safety nationwide. Today, Texas Senator Ted Cruz announcing new safety enhancements for planes and improved air traffic control.
Every time now that I land at Reagan, including yesterday just getting here, I suspect I'm not the only one who looks out the window and thinks about what could happen.
It comes ahead of tomorrow's National Transportation Safety Board meeting. It'll start a 3-day investigative hearing on details from that crash. And for more information on the new legislation and what is happening on that investigation, head to our website, dcnewsnow.com.
And developing now, gunman in Manhattan killing 4 people when he opened fire inside of an office building.
That man has been identified as 27-year-old Shane Tamura from Nevada. Police say he turned the gun on himself. Today, New York Mayor Eric Adams says the gunman had specific intentions.
He stated he had CTE, a brain injury known for those who played contact sport of some nature, and he seemed to have blamed the NFL. The NFL headquarters was located in the building, and he mistakenly went up the wrong elevator.
And for more details this afternoon, here's Henry Rosoff.
He appeared to have first walked past the officer, and then he turned to his right and saw him and discharged several rounds.
Mayor Eric Adams says neither the fallen NYPD officer, Didarul Islam, nor a private security guard inside the lobby of 345 Park Avenue had much time to react. The gunman, 27-year-old Shane Tamura, was armed with an AR-15 style assault weapon, which he was able to acquire along with other weapons in Nevada, where he was an overnight security guard, all despite mental health concerns. It has once again led to renewed calls for tougher national gun laws.
We cannot keep meeting these moments with thoughts and prayers alone. We owe these families more than silence. We owe them action.
After opening fire in the lobby, authorities say the gunman proceeded up the wrong elevator, landing on the 33rd floor at Rudin Management as opposed to NFL headquarters. By the end of the rampage, Tamura had killed 4 people and critically injured a 5th person before turning the weapon on himself in a very intentional manner.
Shot himself in the chest of what appears to have been that he wanted to preserve his brain for a reason of research.
NYPD officials confirmed that the suicide note found on the suspect indicates he blames the NFL for covering up the dangers of CTE, a traumatic brain injury common among NFL players. The gunman does not appear to have been in direct contact with the NFL, but may have played high school football. Security experts say predicting and preventing these random acts of gun violence, especially when they involve a lone wolf with potential mental health issues, is all nearly impossible.
There's really no way to say this is going to happen on this day, which makes it so much more difficult.
That was Henry Rosoff reporting. Developing now, 3 men charged after trying to steal someone's car during an online sale through Facebook Marketplace. Now, someone from Gaithersburg arranged to meet a buyer interested in purchasing a vehicle that was been listed for sale. During the meeting, the suspects pulled these weapons you can see on your screen. They demanded the keys to the car. The victim then dropped the keys and ran. Police were able to arrest the suspects a short time later. Right now, they're being held without bond. Former federal workers spent part of their day talking about the budget cuts that impact their families and their audience. U.S. Senator Chris Van Hollen. During the meeting, the Democratic leader from Maryland assured the former employees that he is committed to fighting for them. Van Hollen said that they were mistreated and unfairly fired by the Trump administration.
These are real patriots. These are people who are hurting because of the way they've been treated, but still the first thing they talk about is how they love the work they were doing on behalf of the country.
Was the 5th time that Van Hollen has met with former federal workers since January. Well, in our schools, some Montgomery County teachers say that they didn't get paid or received a partial paycheck. Now the county's Educators Association filing a class action grievance with Montgomery County Public Schools. The association says that its members have had issues since the school system rolled out their new payroll system. A class action grievance will be under the bargaining agreement with the school district, and the Educators Association says that its filing will force the school district to resolve the issues.
We need to make sure that our members are paid. They have bills themselves that need to be taken care of, and families to support. It can really be a hardship when people are counting on a paycheck coming at a particular point, and then it's not there.
DC News Now reached out to MCPS. They say the issue impacted employees that started working after July 11th or submitted time cards after that date. The school district says that those employees will be paid tomorrow.